Your mind is either your greatest prison or your greatest power. This is Think and Grow Forever. I am Toya D, and this is a space where we break the chains of the mind, we reclaim our identity, and we build the life we were always meant to live. Everything I teach here is built on one truth: master yourself, free your mind, and prosper forever. Now, let's get into today's message. What if everything you've been taught about discipline is wrong? Because most of what we have been sold about discipline is about force. You have to push harder. You have to feel nothing. You have to be consistent no matter what. And then women burn out. You fall off. You feel like failures. Then you blame yourself for lacking willpower. But that's not a discipline problem. That's a foundation problem. Today we're talking about real discipline. Not the punishing kind, but the sovereign kind. The kind that is rooted in emotional intelligence, is rooted in your identity, in an unshakable relationship with yourself. Because a woman who has mastered her emotions doesn't just show up consistently. She shows up powerfully. And there is a difference. So here is what the hustle culture version of discipline never tells you. Discipline built on willpower alone, it has an expiration date. Willpower is a finite resource. It depletes, it wavers, it is heavily influenced by your emotional state, your nervous system, your sleep, your stress levels, and all the things that make you human. So when you white knuckle your way through a goal and eventually you fall off, it's not because you're weak. It's because you're not building on a solid foundation. You are building on sinking sand. Real discipline is not about overriding your emotions. It's about understanding them well enough that they stop running your decisions. There's a massive difference between suppressing how you feel and being sovereign over how you respond. Suppression is ego. Sovereignty is identity. And a woman who has done the inner work to know the difference, she is unstoppable. And it's not because she never feels her fear. She never doubts. She's never overwhelmed or resistance. But it's because she feels all of it and moves anyway from a grounded and chosen place. We have been taught, especially as women, a very confusing set of rules about emotions. On one hand, we have been taught we were too emotional. On the other hand, we've been taught to push through feelings to just get it done. Both of those are wrong, and both of them disconnect you from one of your greatest sources of intelligence. Because your emotions are data. They are information about what's happening inside of you. It tells you what you need, what you value, what's misaligned with you, what's threatening you, what matters. So when you suppress them in the name of discipline, you cut yourself off from that data. You stop being able to read yourself clearly. And a woman who can't read herself clearly cannot lead herself well. Emotional control is not about feeling less. It is about responding instead of reacting. It's about creating enough space between the feeling and the action that you chose, consciously or intentionally. So, what do you do next? That space is where your power lives. So let me give you 4 real reasons why most women struggle with discipline. When women come to me struggling with consistency and following through, it's almost never comes down to laziness or the lack of motivation. It's going to come down to these 4 things. The first one is misaligned identity. Now, if your self-concept doesn't include being disciplined as a woman, if you deep down believe yourself as someone who starts things and doesn't finish, someone who's always inspirational but you don't follow through, then your behavior will keep matching that belief. Because discipline has to be an identity before it becomes a habit. You have to see yourself as a woman who shows up for herself before showing up becomes natural. The second is emotional avoidance. Now, a lot of what looks like procrastination is actually emotional avoidance. The task feels scary, it feels vulnerable, it feels uncomfortable, just so you can avoid it. Not because you're lazy, but because your nervous system is trying to protect you from discomfort. And until you learn to sit with that discomfort consciously, your nervous system will keep steering you away from the very things that will grow you. So the third reason is perfectionism as a disguise. Now, that was one of my problems. Perfectionism is not high standards. It is fear with a productivity mask on, and it kills discipline because it makes starting feel impossible. Everything has to be right. The timing has to be perfect. You have to feel ready. But readiness doesn't come before action. It comes because of it. So the fourth is a dysregulated nervous system. This one is the one that's really the most overlooked. When your nervous system is chronically in stress response, when you're operating from survival mode, your brain kind of literally cannot access the prefrontal cortex the way it needs to plan, to make decisions, to follow through. It's not that you're not undisciplined, you are just dysregulated. And those require completely different solutions. Emotional control in a sovereign woman does not look like stoicism. It does not look like never crying, never getting angry, never feeling overwhelmed. It looks like this. Think about it. She feels the fear and names it instead of running from it. She gets disappointed and let herself feel it without making it mean something catastrophic for her about her future. She gets angry and uses it as information. She think about what boundary was crossed, what value was violated, rather than weaponize it or swallowing it whole. She feels the resistance before a big task and recognize it for what it is. It's not a sign to stop, but a sign that something important is on the other side. She actually has a relationship with her inner world. And because she knows herself that deeply, her emotions don't ambush her, they inform her. Here are 5 practices that build sovereign discipline. Here is how you build discipline that actually holds. Not the punishing kind, but the sovereign kind. Practice 1. Anchor to identity, not to motivation. Because motivation is feeling. It comes and it goes. Identity is a decision. It stays. Every morning before you do anything else, anchor yourself to who you are being today. You can say, I am a woman who shows up for herself. I am a woman who does what she says she will do. Say it until it lands, then move from that moment, not from how you feel in that moment. Practice 2. Name the emotion before it names you. Now, when resistance, fear, or overwhelm shows up, and it will show up, you're going to have to pause and name it out loud. Call it out. Tell yourself, say it to yourself, I feel afraid right now. I feel overwhelmed. And I'm telling you this because research shows that the act of naming an emotion, it reduces its intensity in the brain almost like immediately. You cannot regulate what you haven't acknowledged. Let me reiterate that. You cannot regulate what you haven't already acknowledged. Name it first, then decide what to do next. Practice 3. We're going to shrink the task, not the standard. When you're struggling to start, the task is too big in your mind. Most of the time, when you're struggling to start, the task you need to complete is too big in your mind. You're not thinking about writing one paragraph. You're thinking about writing the whole book. You are not thinking about filming one video. You're actually thinking about building the whole channel all at once. You got to learn how to shrink it. What is the one next action? Just do that. Lower that activation energy so your nervous system doesn't go into a threat response before you even begin. Practice 4. Regulate your nervous system deliberately. Your capacity for discipline is directly tied to your nervous system state. You have to build regulation practices into your day, not as luxuries, but an infrastructure, a system. You can do breath work, movement. You can incorporate stillness, incorporate time in nature. Whatever brings you back into your body and out of stress response. Because a regulated woman has access to a version of herself that a dysregulated woman simply cannot reach. Practice 5. Honor your word to yourself first. Every time you make a commitment to yourself and break it, you erode your self-trust. And without self-trust, discipline cannot build because you stop believing your own intentions mean anything. You have to start small. Make a commitment you know that you can keep today and keep it. Then all you got to do is do it again tomorrow. You are really rebuilding the relationship between your word and your action. That relationship is the foundation of everything. So let me bring this to full circle because this is the part that changes how you see everything. Discipline and emotion control are not two separate topics. They are the same conversations. Because the reason most women abandon their commitments is not a lack of willpower. It is an emotional trigger that do not know how to navigate. The reason she doesn't post the video is fear of judgment. That's an emotion. The reason she doesn't have the conversation is fear of conflict. That's an emotion. The reason she stops showing up for her goal is the discomfort of being a beginner. That's an emotion as well. Every breakdown in discipline has an emotional root. And when you learn to work with your emotions instead of against them, when you develop the inner infrastructure to feel the feeling and move away, discipline stops being a struggle. It becomes an expression of who you are. Discipline is not a punishment. It is not white knuckling your way through your goals while you pretend you don't feel anything. It is the deeply loving act of showing up for yourself. And you're going to show up fully, consistently, even when it's hard. Because now you know you are worth showing up for. And emotional control is not suppression, it's sovereignty. It is knowing yourself deeply enough that your feelings inform your decisions instead of hijacking them. Now, this is the woman I want you to become. And it's not about being perfect, it's not about being robotic, it's not grinding yourself into the ground. It's sovereign, it's grounded, it's emotional intelligent, and absolutely committed to herself. So tell me in the comments which one of these 4 reasons resonates most with why you struggle with discipline. I want to hear from you. Share this with a woman who has been hard on herself for not being consistent enough. Subscribe if this is the work you're here for, and I will see you in the next one. Remember, true security and stability come from within, not outside of you. Everything you need is already there. You just have to do the work to access it. If this message moves something in you, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment below telling me what chain are you ready to break. This is Think and Grow Forever with Toya D. I see you in the next one.